A warm welcome to you from Azadlik Square, heart of Baku and home, of course, of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. With high speeds, tight corners and few runoff zones, many are expecting a safety car here today. So our drivers will have to stay very much on their toes and hopefully out of the barriers. The Baku city circuit measures roughly 6 kilometres and is made up of 20 corners and 2 DRS zones. The circuit winds around the narrow city, through the old town, and even brushes against the city's medieval walls. However, as beautiful as the setting is, this track is also a ferocious technical challenge, where the smallest of mistakes could lead to catastrophic consequence for any one of our drivers. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Pierre Gasly lines up on pole position, and starting next to them is George Russell. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Albon, Yuri Vips, and Fernando Alonso. Vettel, Doohan, Armstrong, and Mick Schumacher. Oscar Piastri, Vesti, Esteban Ocon, and Norris. Iwasa, Drugovich, Red, and Dennis Hauger. Tsunoda and Valtteri Bottas begins the race from the back of the grid. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. It's just about time to go to the track for the beginning of the race, but before we do, Anthony Davidson, what types of strategy do you think we can expect for today's event?
Well, there's a lot that both the driver and the team have to keep in mind when going into a race. The tyres, fuel, energy recovery systems, the list goes on and on. But I think the key to today's victory will come down to the pit stop strategy. Come in too soon and you might find yourself needing more than one stop. Too late and you're putting yourself at a disadvantage by spending longer on worn tyres.
On the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one. Okay, one stop to go. Just one stop left in this strategy. Okay, slow down, slow down. Your delta's negative, which means you're going too fast. Reduce your pace. Disabled by the stewards. DRS will be offline. Wait for further updates. Getting worse. Watch out for standing water. rain's getting worse, be very careful. Inters seem to be the fastest tyre for now. Okay, the incident's been cleared. Let's get back up to racing speed. Come on. Right, drop. The rain looks like it's going to be getting much lighter over the next 10 to 15 minutes. There should be more grip, but don't expect a dry track yet. Inters seem to be the fastest tyre for now. You've got to give that position back, mate. We're under safety car conditions and you can't overtake. Return the position. That was a fantastic stop, faster than we were expecting. Up to speed now, let's get some heat into those tyres. Okay, we've lost a position, that's us down a place. Let's use overtake and burn. Hauger just ahead, push hard. Okay, the gap is less than a second. Turn the position immediately or we're going to get penalised. There's no overtaking during the safety car period. Okay, radar is clear, weather is looking good for now. Inters look like the best tyre for now. Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one. Final lap of the race. We're racing again, let's go. Nice, it's really nice. Yes, fantastic, you've just won the Grand Prix.
And so ends another Azerbaijan Grand Prix. A fascinating race and a well-deserved victory. Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
Taking care of the car was absolutely vital today. It's been obvious all weekend that the pace was there, but look at the attrition rate we've had. They would have been very concerned about any minor anomaly towards the latter stages of this Grand Prix.
A show-stopping performance from the three drivers approaching the podium right now. It's been an interesting Grand Prix, that's for sure. So let's have a quick look at how the drivers' standings have changed. Despite the best efforts of our championship leader, that lead has taken a bit of a knock today. Some amazing talent out there on track today, but Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
I have to give it to Red. They demonstrated a very delicate touch in close proximity to other cars, as well as showing a lot of maturity and patience in difficult situations.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. The lead at the top comes down after a strong weekend from the challenging pack. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula One. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. Pierre Gasly lines up on pole position, and starting next to them is George Russell. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Albon, Fernando Alonso, Charles Leclerc, Doohan, Vettel, Drugovich, Oscar Piastri, and Yuki Tsunoda, Vesti, Ocon, Ayumu Iwasa, and Norris, Hauger, Mick Schumacher, Valtteri Bottas, and Marcus Armstrong, Red, and Yuri Vips. And with preparations almost complete, let's head trackside for today's sprint.
After the points finished last race, let's aim to keep that momentum going. Perfect job from you and the crew there, mate. We're delighted with that. OK, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track. Oh. OK, this is your final lap of the race. Race over. Take care of the car.
on the driver's standings. That's a positive result for George Russell, who further solidifies his position at the top of the standings. It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. McLaren continue to increase their gap at the top. Meanwhile, a strong weekend from Red Bull this time out, and they improved their position in the championship. With the sprint wrapped up, we now have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race. We are here in the coastal shores of Florida for the Miami Grand Prix, which has become the 11th Formula One track held in the United States. The grandstands are packed for what we hope is going to be another fantastic race. Sitting at the southeastern coast of Florida, the Miami International Autodrome has 19 corners and 3.36 miles of racing. It's a circuit designed to encourage close racing while meeting the highest safety standards. Either way, I am sure it's one which will please the fans. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. What a qualifying yesterday for George Russell. He'll start today's race from pole position, with Pierre Gasly alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Fernando Alonso, Albon, Charles Leclerc, Doohan, Drugovich, Tsunoda, Vesti and Lando Norris, Iwasa, Mick Schumacher, Marcus Armstrong, Red, Yuri Vips, Vettel, Dennis Hauger and Valtteri Bottas. Oscar Piastri and Esteban Ocon lines up at the back of the grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. With the Grand Prix nearly upon us, Anthony Davidson is by my side once again to offer his perspective. Now, I want to ask you about Esteban Ocon. As ever, the threat of unreliability is never far away, and indeed, they'll be starting out of position today due to power unit component changes. It's going to be a difficult task to move forward from there.
But on the bright side, at least those fresh components can help them maintain the power they need to come through the pack. I expect to see them take a more aggressive approach today.
Until we get the green flags, VSC ending, wait for the greens. We've got a lot of spare energy, okay to use your overtake button. penalty. Slow your pace immediately. The track is clear, green flag. Past, make use of the overtake button and see what you can do. Overtake button more. It's time to utilise some of this energy. Come on. Good job this weekend, great drive, thank you.
A beautiful performance from McLaren today. Anthony, tell me, what was it that helped them achieve this success?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those we witnessed today.
And look at that, they're making their way out onto the podium now. Great race for the McLaren team, and I'm very happy to see them there on the top step of the podium. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Our championship leader is still sat at the top of the standings, but their rivals have made up some solid ground today. After an incredible day of racing, Who was your driver of the day, Ant?
I have to give it to Red. They did a great job at getting the most out of their tyres without losing pace, something that's a very handy skill to have in modern-day Formula One.
Let's move on to the constructors. McLaren continue to increase their gap at the top. Meanwhile, Ferrari have improved their position. A strong weekend for them as they fight their way towards the top. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula One. With qualifying finished, it's time to remind ourselves of our top three: Albon, Fernando Alonso and Oscar Piastri. Hello and welcome to the Ile Notre Dame once again for what promises to be another incredible Canadian Grand Prix at a fiercely competitive circuit where pole position can often be decided by less than a tenth of a second. It's a tricky circuit to tackle in wet conditions, with top speed still of critical importance down the long back straight. There are 2.7 miles and 14 corners overall on this circuit that in the dry can see average lap speeds of around 130 miles per hour. We'll be lucky to get anywhere near that today. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Alex Albon will lead us away from pole position, and Fernando Alonso completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Oscar Piastri, Leclerc, Pierre Gasly and Russell, Yuri Vips, Red, Armstrong and Jack Doohan, Vettel, Mick Schumacher, Frederick Vesti and Tsunoda, Drugovich, Norris, Valtteri Bottas and Esteban Ocon, Hauger and Ayumu Iwasa. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. With me today, of course, is Natalie Pinkham. Let's talk about Red. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, they've been avoiding mistakes and have had solid pace, so it's been a good season so far. But whether they can keep that up long term remains to be seen.
Let's use overtake and burn off some of this energy. Great manoeuvre, you made it look so easy. The radar suggests that this heavy rain will be with us for... Okay, I know these conditions look pretty terrible, but that water is draining okay. I think the intermediate is going to stay the tyre of choice for a while yet. Oh, you worked hard for that one. Congratulations, well done.
A truly magnificent drive then, and a great performance from the entire team to secure victory here in Canada. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, this was won through an abundance of speed and skillful overtakes. Inside, outside, cutting underneath. We saw it all today, and it's really nice to see a Grand Prix won in that manner. A race to satisfy the purists today, I think.
Welcome then to the podium, our top three drivers. What a great effort from them today in a very difficult race. And now let's take a look at the drivers' standings. That's a positive result for George Russell, who further solidifies his position at the top of the standings. So then, Natalie Pinkham, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
I have to give it to Red. They fought so hard and had incredible pace at times, so I don't think anyone did a better job today.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. McLaren continue to increase their gap at the top. Meanwhile, Ferrari have improved their position. A strong weekend for them as they fight their way towards the top. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who's joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.